We have been fed a lie so repetitive, so ingrained in our education and culture, that we have accepted it as biological law. They told us that intelligence is a lottery ticket. You scratch it at birth, and whatever number is revealed, that is your destiny. If you were the smart kid in 3rd grade, you are set for life. If you struggled with math, well, that is just how you are. But here is the cold, hard truth that most people will go to their graves never knowing. Intelligence is not a fixed tattoo on your forehead. It is a muscle. It is a pliable, adaptable, living force that you can expand, sharpen, and completely transform. There is a specific cognitive trap that 99% of people fall into daily. It acts like a parking brake on your brain's engine. Meanwhile, a tiny fraction of the population, let's call them the cognitive elite, has figured out how to release this brake. Studies suggest that high performers who leverage neuroplasticity do not just outperform others by a small margin. They can operate at an efficiency factor of over 12 times the average. In the next few minutes, we are not just going to talk about study tips. We are going to deconstruct the way you perceive reality itself. Let's start with an uncomfortable question. Do you trust your own eyes? Most of us believe our brains are video cameras, recording everything in high definition. But let me take you back to Harvard University in 1999 to a famous experiment by Simons and Chabris. Imagine you were asked to watch a video of people passing a basketball. Your instructions are simple. Count the passes made by the team in white shirts. You focus, you concentrate. 1, 2, 3. You count, locking in on the ball. Suddenly, a person in a full-body gorilla suit walks right into the middle of the circle, thumps their chest, and walks off. It takes 9 seconds. It is blatantly obvious. Yet, when the researchers asked the participants if they saw the gorilla, half of them said no. Think about that. 50% of people were so blinded by their narrow focus that they missed a giant primate standing right in front of them. This is called inattentional blindness. Now, apply this to your life. If your brain can miss a gorilla because it is focused on a ball, how many million-dollar ideas, life-changing opportunities, or critical solutions are you missing right now because you are telling yourself you are not smart enough to see them? This reveals something shocking. We see less than we think, and we understand less than we imagine. Your brain is an energy hog. It weighs about 3 pounds, but consumes 20% of your body's energy. To survive, it constantly tries to save power by running on autopilot. It ignores the gorilla to count the ball. It ignores complex problems to stick to easy answers. The majority of people live their entire lives in this energy-saving mode, but intelligence is not about what you were born with. It is about how you override that autopilot. Dr. Carol Dweck introduced the world to the growth mindset, proving that the smartest people among us aren't necessarily genetically gifted. They are simply the ones who believe their neural pathways can be rewritten. Intelligence is not a noun. It is a verb. It is not what is in your head. It is what you do with it. So, how do you join the 1% who actually use their minds? Here is the roadmap. First, you must recognize your mental limits. You have to train your brain to see the gorilla. This means actively questioning your own focus. When you are stuck on a problem, stop and ask yourself what you are ignoring. Every time you push past your initial frustration, you are physically laying down new myelin sheaths in your brain, making your thinking faster and more efficient. Second, commit to the rule of 1%. Learn one new thing every single day. This sounds small, but it is deceptive. Most people stop learning the moment they leave school. If you learn just one new concept, word, or skill every day, that is 365 new mental connections a year. Over a decade, you become a powerhouse of encyclopedic knowledge while everyone else is stagnant. Do not just consume it. Write it down and connect it to what you already know. Isolated facts are useless. Connected facts are intelligence. Third, practice ruthless critical thinking. We live in an age of shallow information. When you read a headline or hear a rumor, do not just absorb it. Pause. Ask who said it. Ask why they said it. Ask where the evidence is. Do not take reality at face value. The smartest people in the room are usually the ones asking the hardest questions, not the ones giving the loudest answers. Fourth, you must protect your mind from the noise. Your brain cannot function at peak capacity if it is drowning in dopamine, social media, 24-hour news cycles, and endless notifications create mental bubbles that trap you in anxiety and distraction. You need to carve out time for deep silence, whether it is meditation, deep reading, or just sitting in a quiet room. Your brain needs downtime to process and organize information. You cannot build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation. Fifth, use writing to clarify your thinking. This is a secret weapon. Many people think they have clear ideas, but when they try to write them down, they realize their thoughts are a mess. Writing forces your brain to linearize abstract thoughts. It exposes gaps in your logic. If you cannot write it down clearly, you do not understand it yet. Sixth, teach what you learn. The physicist Richard Feynman was famous for this. He believed you only truly understand a concept if you can explain it to a 4-year-old. When you teach, whether it is making a video, writing an article, or just explaining a concept to a friend, you are retrieving information from your memory and restructuring it. This solidifies the knowledge in your brain better than any other method. Finally, you cannot drive a Ferrari on empty. You must take care of the biological hardware. Your brain is a physical organ. It needs 7 to 8 hours of sleep to flush out neurotoxins. It needs omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants to repair cells. It needs exercise to pump blood and oxygen to the prefrontal cortex. If you neglect your body, no amount of mental tricks will make you smarter. Imagine yourself a year from now. Picture that version of you. Every day for the last 365 days, you learned something new. You questioned the narrative. You wrote down your thoughts. You protected your focus. You took care of your biology. Would you still be the same person listening to this right now? Absolutely not. You would be sharper. You would be faster. You would be more aware. You would be among the top 1% who truly understand that their mind is a fire to be kindled, not a vessel to be filled. The lie is over. The barrier is gone. The choice is now entirely yours. Will you stay among the 99% trapped in the illusion of fixed limits? Or will you step forward and build the extraordinary mind you were always capable of having?